Let's Talk Marketplace.
The Marketplace podcast with Ingrid and Valerie Dichtel.
A very warm welcome to all the listeners. This is Let's Talk Marketplace. And yes, this episode will be fully in English. So maybe you listened to our last episode. One of our New Year's resolutions has been to make Let's Talk Marketplace a bit more international. And therefore, we plan to increase the number of episodes that we do in English. And we are starting today. So happy, Valerie?
Yes, very happy. Welcome from me as well. As you know, the marketplace business is in some cases very regional, very much focusing on each of the different countries, markets, and also keeping to the experts' peers from their own countries. But in other cases, and especially in some industries like fashion, which is like my main experience from within the marketplace business, is already very international. So brands in those industries are more often than not to address bigger multi-country regions like North, South, or Eastern Europe and therefore their marketplace managers move in much more international bubble, which is why I have been pushing to us to have more episodes in English. And also I see our customers and clients are much more talking in English with me, even about the German market. So I think it definitely was time to move to English, partially.
Yes, you have been telling me this for quite a while, I think. I haven't been fully convinced about that for a while because, as you said, some of the industries, like, for example, electronics, are still very much restricted by country borders and keeping to their own country markets. So I think we even asked our respective communities about this last year, remember? And part of me is still convinced that we maybe should have followed Malte Karstan's idea, because he suggested that in all our episodes, I should talk German while you would answer in English, all in the same episode. That might have been quite fun, I think.
Yeah, totally fun. Not.
More, for us, like, maybe.
Even more chaotic and not so much fun for me neither. So no, I think what we have planned now is a better approach. We alternate our podcasts regularly. So some episodes are in German and others are in English, because I mean, we still have like the most of German listeners, but I mean, of course, 80% of our, or maybe even more, our podcast was in German. So surprise that so many people are coming from the DACH region. So this is our approach for this year. And I also stumbled actually about a new study from ETA Germany, the 2024 playbook, which I got sent from Channel Engine, where they they did a survey for German marketplaces or DACH region marketplaces and leaders. And they were asked, what are the top 3 goals your organization hopes to achieve by joining a new online marketplace? And there were multiple answers possible, but 67% said expand into new markets and 63% said increasing sales and revenue. Yeah, and I would say the study is by the way, it's also linked in our show notes and on LinkedIn to download for free. But as you can see, it's internationalization. It's a key topic this year. Oh yeah, it's really.
Yeah, but it's true, you know. I mean, and I think that's good news for us as well, because the things that you just mentioned there that people answered in this survey, they are like that center of what we actually talk about here in Let's Talk Marketplace. So I think we are catering to the customer in this case.
Yes. So welcome to you all English-speaking listeners. And I think also, anyway, this is totally interesting today, what we're talking about, because we're talking about something which is really, really relevant for you and for the European marketplace community, because I got asked in the last weeks, like, hey, Valerie, what events should I go this year? Where do you go? Where can we meet? And I was like, wait till the podcast episode, because we're already planning something. Therefore, and here we go. This is, our answer to you. Where can we meet this year? But also, what should you have on your event planning list?
Yeah. And not only that, we put all that together. We're not only talking about it, but we put all the answers that you get today in the podcast episode together in, I think, the first comprehensive guide to the most relevant marketplace events in Europe. I think we could say that. You can download one, and the one and only European Marketplace Events Calendar 2024, carefully curated by yours truly, Let's Talk Marketplace team. And you can find it in the show notes as well. So I'm really looking forward to what you're saying to our calendar, because you put a lot of work in it.
Oh yeah, and you can. But I just think I speak the link out once. You can find it under www.marketplace-uni.com/LTM calendar 2024. So LTM is for Let's Talk Marketplace Calendar 2024. Yeah, but you will link it to you as well, and you can there directly mark the events where you're going, what's most interesting for you. And you can also listen to this episode, of course, which you already do. And we will talk about later in the topic of the day. Yeah, where we go, what our honest opinion about the different events is. But first
of all,
what
are really relevant and what aren't.
Yes. But first I would say, Ingrid, you put a lot of effort together with the news. So tell me what happened.
Newsflash. A lot, actually, quite a lot. This is, I was a bit overwhelmed by all the stuff that happened on LinkedIn and elsewhere and all my news channels. Lots of things going on at the moment. I think the one that is dominating the German news at the moment is, of course, the Galeria Kaufhof, which are now again filing for insolvency. I think it's the third time now. And it seems that the Galeria managers are trying to get the company out of, I don't know, can I say the Titanic that is called Signa Retail? Because, I mean, it's going down. There's just no way around it. It's hit the iceberg a very long time ago, and now it's going down, and they're trying to rescue as much of Galeria as possible before that happens. Yeah, what does that mean for the Galeria marketplace?
Well, I would say for the Galeria marketplace, I think it doesn't make so much difference anymore because even after the first bankruptcy, there was like not so much hope for Galeria marketplace anymore.
But I still heard from quite a lot of people from the fashion industry that they were selling there.
Yeah, that's true. But like from former experiences, Galeria was really loud shouting like, please do our marketplace business. And then I did it in the past and I was like, what the heck? Why did we do this? Because there was like so less turnover. It was really like, but I had to do it because our sales team was so much like, yeah, but they really want, it's so important for us. And I think there's the much bigger impact is that for many fashion brands, Galeria is still one of the top 3 or top 5 clients. And if they are breaking down as well, then those big turnovers are also missing within the budgets of those big brands. And I mean, they are already struggling from the last years. Like this is like the what do you say, the icing on the cake, but in a bad way. And I could imagine that this causes overall in the brands a huge impact in a bad way. So I think that the wholesale business from Galeria is breaking down, is even much more dangerous than just the marketplace view. And it will also impact, obviously, the marketplace business as well, but overall the whole brands. And I mean, it's not just fashion, but I know from fashion that they were a really big player for most of them. So yeah. And then also Warmland, as you wrote down.
Warmland also filed for insolvency. I was a bit taken by surprise by that because I've been reading up on Warmland and one of the managers, what's his name again? I can't remember at the moment, Tim Calbera or something like that. He's very active on LinkedIn and gave lots of insight into what they're doing at the company. And it sounded like they were on the right path. So I was like, okay, that's bad news.
Yeah. I mean, not so much impact to marketplace business, but also like to fashion as well, mainly men's fashion. But it's like getting like tighter and tighter. And the news is like, Okay.
Yeah, come
Another one.
on.
And Galeria is really, I mean, this is like third time, like bumping again the iceberg, and then now finally sinking. I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see what comes out of that. Right. What else do I have? Not much better news, but different news. Going down to Amazon, because they are again, they over the last years they have been cutting into the vendor program again and again and again, making it a bit more difficult for vendors to be really happy with selling to Amazon, especially the smaller brands and the low price brands. And they are getting it again because now Amazon appears to be starting to ask brands across several categories to stop listing new products which are worth less than $10. So this is something that Martin Heubel reported about on LinkedIn. And it seems it's going to get more difficult for vendors in the low price segment. Where are they going to go? Into the seller program? But selling on Amazon below $10 isn't fun either.
Yeah, I mean, like if it's not for the sellers fun, then it's also not for Amazon fun. And I think that's the background. I think, just like a strategic decision, which is like affecting many vendors, definitely. But there, I also think that, I mean, overall, products below $10 is still it's still critical to really make profit out of it. So I think the conclusion is to create multi-packs or mindest order quantities, which I also saw in Germany already a few times. And this is, I mean, you have to think about how can you increase your overage basket and your average sales price for your products, and or move them to a seller business, but also find a way to make it profitable.
Yeah, that's what Martin advises in his post as well. But he mentioned something that I found interesting because he said, of course, many brands are aware already that anything that goes below $10 isn't that much fun on Amazon. So many have started with multiplex and stuff like that. But you can't underestimate the fact that you can lure customers in with those cheaper products. So you might get someone to put that in a basket and maybe buy again, or just be made aware of a company, be made aware of a brand, buy those low level products. And if you don't have that anymore, then you should keep as close as possible to this $10 margin, but like from the upper side, so that you can still have those, lure in products, even if Amazon doesn't let you go under the $10 again. So, yeah. Let's see if I don't have anything better on my news.
Yeah, please.
Yes, I do, actually. I do. For example, Digitech Galaxus gave us the numbers for 2023. And they grew in Switzerland, or the whole company grew by 13% to sales of now 2 billion Swiss francs. And the business outside of Switzerland, which they all put together in galaxus.de, that one grew by 57% to now like 290 million euros. So they are on a good course, but they're still not profitable outside of Switzerland. But it seems that they are, that Digitech Galaxus is still believing in this internationalization and they're still putting money into it. So I guess this will, as I already said last time, it will be a decisive year for all these international companies of Galaxus. But they're doing not too bad. And very well.
But they did 2.7 billion Swiss francs, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
just
the whole
to correct it.
Yeah, so that one is nice. And another player who's doing quite well is actually Redcare Pharmacy, formerly known as Shop-Apotheke. They took over a Swiss online pharmacy last year called Mediservice, so that of course pushed sales a bit, but still they grew their overall sales by nearly 50% to 1.8 billion euro. So pharmacy is doing well, obviously. And of course, Redcare also has a marketplace, so might be interesting to talk about pharma again, maybe sometime this year.
Yeah. But this is also an example for country-based marketplace business, right? As we talked with Gregor Leopold in our episode from September 2023. So if you want to hear about it, then listen to this episode.
Yep, that was a good one. Definitely. Right. So what else do I have? Just going over, there's a lot of stuff. I can't put anything in here and all of it in here, but maybe just one thing that is not strictly marketplace, but something that might be affecting all of your businesses. And this is the logistics trouble that has been caused by the Huthi attacks on the ships in the Red Sea. The Handelsblatt did research on that, and they realized that since those attacks started, freight rates from Asia to Northern Europe have more than doubled since the first attack. So logistics are going up really badly, especially for all retailers who source their products in Asia.
Yeah. I think we also have this issue, a similar one, but not depending on rebels, but more depending on less water, is the Panama Channel. So they have also, I think, just 1/3 of the Panama ships like crossing the Panama Channel can enter. So they have like long waiting tracks, and people are buying them in to like get a fast track through it, or otherwise have a really, really long distance. So yeah. Logistics is a big topic this year, which is like underrated. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And having so much impact in so many ways in the e-commerce business. Right. Maybe one thing, because this is something that I think we will be talking more about this year, and this is TikTok Shop. As I said last episode, and this had many of our contributors also mentioned, we are thinking that TikTok Shop is going to come to Europe this year. I'm quite sure of that. So it might be interesting to hear that in the US at the moment, TikTok is flooding the feeds of their US users with posts and live streams of TikTok Shop products. And it seems the offers are very badly curated and like full of cheap chunk, basically. So the shop posts get a lot more views than regular content does, but I don't think that users will be very happy about this. So let's see if this is like a temporary thing in which TikTok is trying to, push the views of shop and so attract more companies and brands to actually use this new marketplace, and they're going to tune it down a bit later on, or if this is like the push for, I don't know, monetization or something. Doesn't look that good in the US at the moment.
Yeah, so I think it will be quite interesting how TikTok Shop evolves, how this one also gets connected maybe to the platform business. I know that some of the middleware partners have already APIs through also social commerce channels, and I'm really excited to see how much this gets connected in the future. So we definitely will keep an eye on that one.
Yeah. Speaking of TikTok, can I have a few minutes for a short rant? Because they published a study last week. Okay, because they're obviously gearing up to start their shop in Europe. So this also shows in their PR and content marketing efforts. And so they did a big new study together with Oxford Economics, in which they tried to show how much economic impact TikTok has on the markets in Germany, France, and Benelux and Italy. And that study is just so bad. So I really want to rant about it a little bit. Because, like its main message is TikTok is so great for your business. Like it's so great. It contributes, believe it or not, according to the study, 4.8 billion euro to the gross domestic product. So the Bundesinlandsprodukt of these countries. Yeah. And it supports over 50,000 jobs. Isn't that wonderful? TikTok is great, isn't it?
Okay. What's your short wrap up? Because I see what you've written down. And if you read this all and talk about, then we're not finally done.
No, I'm not reading all of it. It's just, I had to put in because, when I see something like that, I go into the study and go like, okay, so where do those figures come
then
from.
your journalist gene comes out and you're like,
and then I go and look into the methodology. And the methodology is basically, they put together some kind of modeling in which they estimated how much the SMEs that they asked for the study approximately spent on advertising and creator marketing on TikTok. And then they asked TikTok, what was the approximate return on investment spent from companies who market on TikTok? And then they put all that together and sort of estimated what kind of economic impact TikTok has. And then they put that together and said, okay, and if we have now this totally out of the air number of what TikTok does for these companies, then we can say, okay, all of these companies have approximately this and that many employees. So then we can say TikTok supports the employees in those things. And that gets even better. And then we say, okay, these employees have approximately an income of this and that much money,
Ingrid.
and they spend that on, and this is how it's
like the never-ending story.
No, it's awful. It's awful. This makes me so angry, this kind of stuff, because it's stupid and it doesn't help anyone. It's just one waving. Yeah, I don't deny the importance of TikTok for modern online economy. Okay, I really don't. But these kind of made up, let's fit our numbers to our message bullshit that really doesn't help anyone.
There's like a saying, right? Like never trust a study you changed yourself.
Didn't forge yourself. Yeah. So, something like that. So,
I would say let's go to our own study of this week, the topic of the week.
I'm not linking that one in the show notes. I'm not helping spread it. If someone wants to have it and laugh about it together with me, they can ask me, but I'm not putting in the show notes.
Actually, you don't seem laughing. You seem crying.
No, that's me crying with fury,
Yeah,
fury.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, mic drop. Okay, that's it.
Mic drop. Okay. Topic of the week. Let's go over to our new calendar. Well, because
much better.
The Ingrid and me
much
sat
better
together.
Researched as well.
Yeah, obviously, because it's our research.
Yes.
So what we want to present you is our Let's Talk Marketplace news baby. It's the European Marketplace Events Calendar 2024. Because I'm really proud of us, And I had this idea maybe, I think, 10 days ago when I said, like, Ingrid, there's so many people asking me on which events I'm going to go today and this year. And then I was like, can we put this together? And then, we created actually an event calendar with you, put the graphics together, created a landing page for it. And we made it happen to, record actually today, which you are hearing today. And
quite a last minute special. No? Yeah, but we're good at those, I think.
Yeah, but we're not loved from my team about it. It's
no,
honestly.
So. Can you just, spread out the ideas a bit more and not a bit more
in advance,
next day,
please?
finish next week? Yeah, a bit more in advance. But well, as I have already realized together with Joel, with Marketplace Convention, the last ideas are always the best ones.
Yes, so, true.
Yeah. But anyway.
It's the last idea from the beginning of the year. So it's okay.
Right.
So,
right. But let's talk about the calendar a bit. But first, maybe a bit more about the idea behind it, because I remember our conversation about it, and I was first like, okay, who wants to listen to us talk about events? Because events is not that special, I thought. But
but it is.
Had different ideas.
So actually, it is really. For example, I always do my planning of the events in the end of the year before or in the beginning of the year, like I did it now. So I take my calendar, really like my paper calendar, and I write down every event which is important. But I know already which marketplace events are relevant for me, but they're coming new ones into it, and then some of them going out. And we wanted just to give you an overview about what event could be relevant for you. So we put together also one PDF which you can download for free. The link is in the show notes. It's here again, www.marketplace-uni.com/LTM calendar 2024. And the idea is that you can go on this landing page, download the calendar, and then then you can also get in the future maybe some newsletter from us, which is not ready yet. But Ingrid and me, we are like visualizing how we want to grow with you and our community. And that's the base. So you can download it also and get into your planning. And besides, or while you plan it, we talk with you now about all the events. How much does it cost for you to go there? Like, what are the ticket prices? Can you just go there where it is? How relevant is it? And we can also talk with you about where you can see Ingrid and me, but spoiler, sometimes it's pretty spontaneous that we go somewhere or don't go somewhere.
Yeah, it's not yet fixed for the whole year.
Not like totally fixed, but sometimes there are some things jumping in, like for me last week. But overall, we could say, okay, Ingrid, let's just give me a short wrap up or summary. What are the top 3 events where you will be this year?
The top 3 events. Well, the most important, of course, is the Marketplace Convention for me, which is my own event. I'm organizing that, which is going to be in Cologne in the week of the 21st to 24th of October. It's not yet totally fixed, but in that week for 2 days. So, of course, I'm going to be there. And the second thing that I definitely want to do again is the CAF5 conference in June in Berlin, because this is just a must. Last year, it was actually my first K5, which is sort of embarrassing, but it was really good. So I really think I have to go again. And considering the third one, I will definitely be at the Miracle Platform Summit again. This is sort of the house event of Miracle Marketplaces, where they gather all the bigger brands and retailers that might be interested in building their own marketplace. But it's also very good to meet very interesting people there. So I was already invited to come again, so I will definitely go there. And I think these are my top 3.
I think my top 3 are pretty similar to yours. So mine is also Marketplace Convention, but I'm more a participant. I know some of you already think that Ingrid and me are doing this together, but it's mainly Ingrid. And sometimes I support here and there, but for personal reasons, because I like Ingrid so much and her team. And I believe in this event. And then for me is the ECD in Munich, very important. And the K5 as well. Yeah.
Yeah, the ECD would be a close one for me as well. I think I will be there as well.
So shall we go from January till December?
Yeah, we have to be really quick, because there's loads of events. So, I'll start with Webwinkel Wachtdagen, which is in January in Utrecht. Something that you can say about that, because I don't know it actually.
Yeah, Webwinkel is one of it's like the biggest Benelux or Benelux e-commerce fairs. And Dutch is the main language there, is near Amsterdam. And in Utrecht, and they have around 12,000 attendees. Ticket price is free fair for attendees. So, it's more fair. But for Benelux, it's really important. As I talked with some Dutch clients. Yeah.
Well, I guess the sort of the German counterpart of that would be the e-commerce Expo Berlin. Today, I think at the moment it's the biggest e-commerce trade fair in Germany, taking place in Berlin in February, 22nd of February. Also free for attendance, and I think last year they had around about 10,000 visitors. So also quite big one, but also a bit hectic, I think. This is really more for operatives going through, looking for the best people work with or new software solutions and stuff like that. Not that strategic, I think.
Yeah, it's also free for attendees, but due to the reason that it's like beginning of February and like the next big events are just like starting in April, March, June. This is like a really well chosen date, I would say.
Yes.
And it's also German and also English from their main language, which is easily or more easily to access for international or some marketplaces. I might be there, but it's really depending on some other topics and my schedule. And then we have the Euro-CIS, but this one you mentioned. So what is it about?
This is taking place also in February in Düsseldorf, and this is more for brick and mortar retailers actually who are trying to digitalize their classical retail. Also quite a big event for that target group, around about 9,000 visitors last year, free of charge as well. But why is this in this list? Because they have started to put some marketplace perspective into their program. So it might be worth considering for especially multi-channel retailers who look to combine their brick and mortar stores with online channels and marketplace channels as well. So I have not been there yet because, as I say, up to now it was very focused on brick and mortar, but that might change. So if anyone goes, I'd be very interested to hear what you think about it.
And then we have the ASK, Amazon Sales Congress.
Yeah, well, this is one of the big and very well-known Amazon events in the, I would say, high-level Amazon field. So for people who are really, really good with Amazon, the Amazon Sales Congress is sort of a fixed date. Very expensive. So normally around about €1,300, but it's well known for a very high class and very open exchange between like the cream of the pie.
But do you need an invitation to go there?
Yes, I think so. It's something like you have to, put a Voranmeldung.
Pre-registration?
Yeah, something like that. And then they accept you or they don't. And if they're full, then that's it.
And it's happening on the 19th and 20th of March in Erfurt in Germany. Main language is also German.
Yeah, it's German, yes.
Well, you can see me as a speaker on the Foxconn on the 12th of April in Mainz, which is like an event from Brickfox, a middleware partner, and they will, have like a multi-channel expert forum. You can just go there. Ticket price is around €100, and I will be the keynote speaker and talk about the marketplace quadrants.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, those house events are quite important, especially in Germany. I have the feeling. I have no idea if this is the same in other markets in Europe. But for example, the Miracle Platform Summit that I already talked about, which is in April in Munich, is also one of those house events. But this is one of a bigger venue of events that there's one in Paris and there's I think one in Asia somewhere and one in Munich. And then a few days later on the 26th of April is the Kaufland e-commerce day, which is also quite established up to now. It's mostly for selling partners of Kaufland and retailers and brands alike who can look into how to best sell on the Kaufland marketplace.
To go back to Miracle, you need an invitation to go there. So it's on the 18th of April in Munich. And I don't have an invitation, so yet, I don't know. But that's the reason why I'm not going yet. So if Miracle hears this, well, I know that's easy to get one for me, I guess. But
this is quite well, actually.
But what I get asked often is like, hey, Valerie, which events shall we go? Is the OMR really, really, really valid? And I think they announced last week that Kim Kardashian is coming.
Oh, yeah.
It's on the 7th and 8th of May in Hamburg. Nearly 72,000 people are coming.
Yeah, it's just completely nuts.
It's insane. It's a marketing festival, and it's really a festival. It's like ticket prices around €500 and upwards. Focuses online marketing, social media, and all those stuff. I I've personally never been there because I think it's just not relevant if you put the
It's
focus
just
on
a
marketplace.
big party, nothing else. I mean, it's all right if you want to go for a party, and there are lots of people there. Just because 72,000 people.
Yeah.
It's not as if the whole online business is that big. So it's very likely you meet everyone you want to meet there. But they're there to have party. You go party and have fun, and I don't think that there is a lot of business happening there actually.
Yeah. And it's there's I think for new social media marketing input that might be interesting, but that's it. Not so much marketplace relevant.
Yeah. But much, much more relevant, I think, is the Score at Zurich.
Yes.
Yeah. Taking place in May, 29th of May in Zurich, put together by the wonderful Alexandra Zera, who has already also been a guest on our podcast last year. And it's for e-commerce C-level managers, for mostly from Switzerland, but also I think DACH region by now.
But mainly Swiss retailers.
Yeah, mainly there. But still, you're going to be there as well, aren't you?
Yes, it's not finally, but I'm pretty well. There's a good potential that I go there, maybe as also to give a masterclass. They expect around 900 to 1,000 participants. Ticket price is starting around 500 Swiss francs, and it's the biggest e-commerce event in Switzerland. So
the K5 of Switzerland.
Yes,
they always say.
Yeah,
I think. Right.
Now we're going more internationally, huh?
Yeah, I didn't hear about that before. I saw it in our calendar. Retail Days Istanbul. What's that?
Yes. Retail Days is Istanbul at the end of May 29th till 30th. It's about retail and digital commerce, free for attendees. Actually, Channel Engine is there, a big partner. That's the reason why I saw it in a newsletter. But to be honest, this is what I can tell you about it. But there is actually 1 week afterwards, the World E-commerce Forum from 6 to 8 of June in Istanbul as well.
Also Istanbul,
But this is a really, really huge event with about 30,000 e-commerce people in Istanbul. And I think if you want to go international, then that could be a good option. Ticket prices are starting from 300 euros. And mainly marketplace sellers, also Amazon. This is the main topic. But we missed something in between, right?
Yeah, the Shop Talk, which is an event taking place in Barcelona in beginning of June. June is insane, by the way. So
wow.
Every 2 or 3 days is something interesting there. So Shop Talk is in Barcelona. Is the event origins from the US? I think Las Vegas. I'm not quite sure. I have to look that up. But they came over to Europe a few years ago. I was there 2 years ago when it was in London. And then I thought it was a bit overrated. Yeah, I wandered through the halls and I thought, not that. They do big marketing, but it's not that interesting. But I think from what I heard, that has changed because last year they were in Barcelona, and I think this year they're going to be in Barcelona as well again. And everyone I talked to who went there last year was quite happy about the whole event and very impressed by the very high level names and companies that are on stage there, for example. So that might be worth traveling.
What do I have
to go to Barcelona?
Yeah, Barcelona sounds nice, especially in June. So let's see if I do country hopping.
Yeah, that would be. I think that would be a good.
Every week on another event, not working at all in between.
No.
Just I don't know, city hopping and sounds nice. But maybe it's not especially June is too crazy. So but you have to pay around 600 euros upwards for brands and retailers to take part at the Shop Talk. So what's for me much more interesting is the ECD in Munich, which is where I go to the ECD, I think already for 8 years, 6 years, something.
Well, it is round the corner basically for us.
Yeah,
so.
it's like a home run.
Yeah.
In Munich, main language on the ECD is German, to be very honest. I know you wrote down English, but sometimes they do it in English too. So it's like a mixture.
On stage, it's a lot of English.
On stage, it's a lot of English. So you can do either or. And you need somehow an invitation, but you can also register and then book a ticket.
Can you? Because last year I tried and it wasn't really easy to get a ticket there.
Really?
No, it was. I think I wrote to my contact there, I think 4 times, like, I want my ticket. Where's my ticket? Come on. And he was like, yeah, I'm nearly full. I have to see. I don't know. So,
yeah. But events
worked
becoming also always a bit challenging. But for me, it's the most relevant. ECD is like originally from TradeByte organized. And I would say
it's not just TradeByte customers now, is it?
No.
It's much more mixed now.
No, but mainly, I would say. And but all the big marketplaces are there. It's one day a party at the end. So yeah, this is like my definitely to go there. Don't go to holiday in that week.
I went there last year for the first time, which I got a lot of bashing by you for, because I haven't been there before.
Really?
But I must admit it is a very good event. It's nice to get together, and it's just a nice atmosphere. People are very open, so you always can find someone to talk to and to exchange opinions with. So definitely worth a shot.
Yeah.
Right. A new one.
Another one in June.
Yes, another one in June. I don't know why Michael put it in June, actually, because June is insane. But well, it's a new event by Michael Atuk, who will come up later again because he is also responsible for the multi-channel day. But he started a new conference, or new trade fair, I should say, which is called G Digital. So Go Digital, basically, on 14th of June in Cologne. And this one is more focused on KMU or SME retailers with a little online experience who are looking for a good start into e-commerce and multi-channel sales. So it's more for beginners, actually, but there's going to be very, very, very many marketplace people as well, is because there's like most of the marketplaces are there, a lot of marketplace service providers are there, connectors, so you will find lots of input in the marketplace business, especially in the operator side of it. So might be worth a look, but it's new, so I don't know. Right. And then begin at end of June, it's K5. So there's another must.
Yes.
Yeah. So as I already said, in Berlin,
conference. Yes.
Yeah. One of the oldest and most established C-level conferences for e-commerce in Germany, I would say.
Yes.
And very, very good conference part, very high level speakers on stage. And the K5 team always manages to put people together on stage that are actually willing to share real insights, not just nice success story, but really insights going into the figures. When I have been in the crowd there, I always got like 3, 4, 5 news to write about, like with every speaker on stage. So that was very good to just keep your toes into what is happening.
Yeah,
I would say.
It's on the 25th and 26th of June. And prices are around €1,000, depending which time you book. Sometimes starting at €500. So the earlier you book, the better. And
at the moment it's still 500. So
okay. Yeah. Great. So but this is really where I can recommend to book early because later it gets a bit more difficult. And also the hotel booking I would also recommend because this was insane. A mess last year.
Yes, yeah. It was the same with me because I was quite late as well.
Yeah.
Because as a press, I didn't have to really worry about the ticket. And then I tried to look for a hotel, I think 2 weeks.
Yeah, 1 week before.
Event.
Me too.
That was fun.
I had the shittiest Airbnb experience
Yes, me too.
in Neukölln ever.
Yeah, like far away, very far away. Right.
Okay, so then we do a summer break, right?
Yeah.
July, nothing. End of August, there is the multi-channel day on the 29th of August in Cologne, Köln. Also a event from Michael Atuk.
Yeah, and this is a nice get-together for online retailers mostly, which has grown enormously in the last years. It started out with only just around about 200, 250 attendees, and last year I think they had around about 1,400 or something. It's quite cheap, just €100 for retailers, and it's all about networking, all about meeting people. The conference part is not that important, to be honest, but it's all about meeting the right people and connecting, having fun together, and just meeting your service providers in real time and stuff like that. So, yeah.
So we have this one, and then the next one, which is close, is the DM Expo in Cologne from 18th to 19th of September. It's like one of the biggest e-commerce. It's the biggest e-commerce trade fair conference with around 40,000 attendees in Germany. But to be honest, if I have to, in terms of marketplace business, if I have to compare multi-channel day with DM Expo to choose where to go, I would definitely go to multi-channel day and not to DM Expo anymore, because like just so oversized. And I mean, if you're ahead of e-commerce and
there's
you have
a lot
like
of media and marketing and technology on the DM Expo that you don't find on the other conferences. And the same if I had to choose between E-commerce Expo Berlin and DM Expo, I would go to E-commerce Expo Berlin because that is more focused on the e-commerce business and therefore more focused on the marketplace business. While DM Expo has started out as a marketing event, actually. Then
it's just too big.
Part was taken over by OMR. Then they went into e-commerce, but it's a bit like, they are neither there nor here. You know? So, right. I'm not going there.
So, and then Trommelwirbel, German.
Yes.
Yeah. Now we have like the most important one. It's actually the last biggest one for us. It's the Marketplace Convention.
The Marketplace Convention, yeah. That is, as I said, end of October, and welcomes around about 500 attendees, mostly marketplace and e-commerce, C-level managers, more from the brand side, I would say. Around about 60% of our attendees are brand people and the rest are retailers. So, I'm at the moment putting together an interesting, hopefully very interesting conference program for you on 2 stages. And hoping to see you there.
I'm looking forward to that because I would say I meet most of my clients, Marketplace Uni community participants there and on the ECD, but Marketplace Convention got bigger and bigger in the last year. I think the timing is pretty good because not so squeezed in like in May or June where you your head spins already while you don't know where to go. And the second half of the year is much more relaxed, definitely. I also recommend to get the early bird tickets, right?
Much cheaper at the moment. Yes, that's true. I think we're about now by €450 at the moment, but I think that runs until April or something.
Yeah, okay.
UL is looking up the prices, so I don't know.
Yeah. So then we have 2 other smaller ones. There's the ECD Global. We don't know when it's happening, but there's usually one in a big European city.
Last year it was in Paris, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was in Paris. It was really good. Small but good. And then we have also the Ahead on Marketplace event, which is more like a network event organized by MoveCell, where I did an event together with them on the Marketplace Convention last year, where brands coming together, maximum 100 people. This is you have to register and try to get on the guest list. And this is what I really, really like. And I do it usually before big events, like before the UMR or Berlin Expo. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it.
Isn't it? That's
so
it.
Where do you go in summary, Ingrid?
Yeah, as I say, I'm of course Marketplace Convention. I'm K5. I'm Miracle Platform Summit, and apart from that, I'm still looking. Of course, ECD. I will do the ECD as well, and I'm always thinking about Kaufland E-commerce Day because I want to look at it for once. But it's on 26th of April, and on 27th is my birthday, so that is right. That's a bad day for me. That's a really bad date. But we'll see. Maybe I can be convinced.
So, okay.
And I would really like to go to Shop Talk in Barcelona if anyone is willing to invite me, but I don't think they will.
So yeah, well, for me, it's like I'm thinking about Berlin Expo, but maybe I might go to the US to another conference where I got invited. And I will be a speaker on the Foxconn on the 12th of April. I will go to SCORE, I guess, on the 29th of May. I will go to the ECD in Munich, obviously, home run. K5 conference 2 weeks later at the end of June in Berlin. And I will go to the Marketplace Convention. And besides that, let's see. But yeah, there is like, I'm really, really selective in terms of like where I go. Last year, I even thought about not going to K5 because I was like, boy, it's like overwhelming. And I love events, but it's also, energy intense. And you have to pre-work and post-work after
a lot of
it.
Post-work,
and but for me, this year is a bit focused. And I mean, in the mid of the year, I'm always in Europe, right? So that's a bit easier to attend.
Right. Okay. So I hope that was interesting.
And if you haven't written it down, then you can download it overall, the overview, because it's a lot.
Yep. Quite a lot.
We picked out, I think, 20 different ones.
Yeah, it didn't end when you put that together. It was always like,
and this,
have you thought about this one? Have you thought about this one? We should really include that one. It's like, oh, come on, it's going to be really full. And our poor graphics designer was really unhappy, I think, putting all that together in one document. Yeah, but anyway, so we look forward to seeing you at one event or another.
Yeah,
I would say. So until then, stay tuned for our next episode in 2 weeks.
Yeah. What will be the topic of in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I'm very happy to announce that Stepan Timoshin is going to join us. He's the 20-year-old founder of the sneaker online and offline retailer Veditim, who's been doing quite an impact on with his business and on LinkedIn. And he has got very interesting things to talk about. And together with him, we will look into the fascinating world of sneaker platforms.
Wow. Sounds like the youngest guest we had so far.
Yes, I think so.
Nice.
But that guy is like, he's got enough energy for both of us and 3 more of us, I think. That's really amazing. So I'm looking forward to that one.
But before we close up, I want to also call you the news lady. I mean, Ingrid got the LinkedIn Top Voice 2024. And I was like, oh, well, she sent it to me yesterday. I was like, how did you get this? I have to admit, I'm kind of jealous in a good way. I'm like, I want this too. So how did you got it?
I just got an email from LinkedIn and now I have a blue badge in my profile and that's it. You know, I mean, I have no idea. I really have no idea. They just informed me like, welcome to our Top Voice program. It's like, okay.
Can you write them?
Thanks, I guess.
How did I get it?
I actually did quite a research on that because I wanted to find out how I got it.
I think it's like from a special team, right? Chosen.
Yeah, they have like, this is an editorial team, and this is only part of it is algorithm, and a lot of it is, you know, just people, editors picking what they think. I mean, they of course have their own agenda on this, because they think that LinkedIn top voices are something like LinkedIn influencers. The people that talk a lot about LinkedIn, use LinkedIn a lot and spread that in their network. So LinkedIn is happy to have as many top voices as they can get, because that is good for LinkedIn. Let's see if it's good for the top voices as well. Let's see if that helps in any way. I have no idea.
I guess so.
Let's see.
Yeah, interesting.
Anyway,
so something to celebrate, something to share with you. Go to the link. We will link it in the show notes. Wrap down and download your event calendar, plan your week and your year. And let us know where you go, because maybe we can meet somewhere.
Right. Looking forward to that. And now we really have to wrap up, because this is the longest episode that we've ever done.
But nothing to talk about, right, Ingrid?
Yeah, lots. Quite a lot. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. And we hear each other in 2 weeks' time. You listen to Let's Talk Marketplace,
the Marketplace podcast with Ingrid Lommer and Valerie Dichtel.